hi everybody. Welcome back to the Confident Parent Podcast. We are doing things a couple of different things today, different than how we normally do them. So we'll get to all those in just a second. If you're watching, hint to those listening. This is my wife, Stephanie. Stephanie, can you say hi to the peeps?
Hi.
Stephanie, obviously we have our two children together, and she's also on staff at the church as a pastor. And we're also, one of the things we're doing different is we are doing a video option today for this podcast. Because this is unique and crazy circumstances. So that's an option. So if you're listening through the podcast app, you can absolutely watch this on YouTube if you prefer. Or if you're watching this and you'd rather listen to it on a drive or something, you can do that through your podcast app. But the reason why we wanted to do a video option today is because there's some crazy things happening in the world right now. Yeah, the coronavirus. And people are stuck in their homes.
Yep.
People are working from homes. Kids have no school. And so we're going to talk about that today. And so we just thought, from our living room to your living room, just making it a little bit more real and transparent. And so we actually just put the kids to sleep. And so if they wake up, which they might.
There's a good chance that they will.
We might have to just go take care of them in the middle of recording this. But we wanted to do this from our living room, do it from home, which is different. Because today we want to talk about 5 tips that we have that we want to help you with. 5 tips to survive the coronavirus as a parent. 5 tips to survive the coronavirus as a parent. And so we've got our green tea, our delicious green tea, trying to keep us healthy from from any viruses trying to attack us. Delicious and refreshing. And of course, we're not experts. We're actually not even in the situation that a lot of people are in, where they're either working from home. We are still working in the office at the church. We don't have any kids in school right now, but we've talked with some parents, we've talked with some friends, and we kind of know what some people are thinking and feeling. And just as pastors, we want to give some insight and give some inspiration and some hope. Hopefully that can be helpful to the families of our church. So the first point that we wanted to talk about with 5 tips on how to survive the coronavirus as a parent is to be flexible, to take it day by day. This is unprecedented, right?
Yeah. Never seen anything like this. I've asked my parents, and they've never seen anything like this. So this is uncharted waters for all of us.
Yeah, and so where this idea kind of came from is when we started dating. My mom actually gave this advice, is to take it day by day, because we ended up dating long distance, and that was really, really great wisdom. And thankfully,
for 3 years.
Yeah. And we got married, and we took it day by day. When it comes to being a parent, your kids at home, you are now the teacher. You probably didn't have them with you home all the time for the majority of parents. This is different. This is way different.
Well, especially if you're home and you're trying to work still.
Oh, yeah.
And then now you have your kids at home with you. That's a lot.
It's hard. It's challenging. And so the wisdom we want to encourage you with is to take it day by day. Mm-hmm. Especially with the development of how things are going, things are literally changing day by day. Some things hour by hour. And so just, you might have a plan and feel like, okay, we got a rhythm, and then everything changes. But if you go in just knowing, I'm just going to take this one day at a time. Tonight, right now, when we're recording, this is Tuesday night. I know that things might be completely different tomorrow, but we're just going to take each day at a time. This is the new norm for the next at least couple of weeks, at least through the rest of March. This is the new norm of how we have to live life.
Yeah, for sure. And we don't really know what things will look like on the other side of this. And so I feel like the thing that is helping me is just to hold my world in my hands open, that we don't know, what's going to happen, and that's okay, because we trust God, and we know that He's going to bring us through. But I have a lot more peace when I just hold my world with an open hand and just not trying to control it. Just, we're along for the ride. We're all in this together. And so, yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah. So step 1 for parents of our 5-step program, 5 steps to survive the coronavirus as a parent. Step 1 is to take it day by day. Step 2 is, this is kind of a big one, but there are so many resources out there that it is overwhelming. It's like everybody and their mamas has got some schedule, some craft activity idea, some podcast that they want you to listen to or use to be helpful to you. And it's too much.
Yeah.
Too much. Everybody, I mean, more people are going live now on Facebook than they've ever gone before. I mean, it's like every day you're seeing somebody saying, I've never done this before, but here I am. But it's overwhelming.
Yeah. We are so blessed that we have a girl that comes and she's not a girl, she is a grown adult, but she comes and she watches our kids for us in the home while we're at the office during the day, and we're so thankful for her. But even I saw some stuff last night, some tips on how to keep things from getting crazy with the kids, and so I sent it over to her because her kids, who one of them is in school, is now here as well, because school is no longer an option. And so I sent that over to her last night, and I could tell this morning when she came in that she was on overload because there's so much stuff coming in from the schools now that they're sending home the lesson plans, and you're trying to figure everything out, that just maybe take a break from digesting all the additional Pinterest ideas on how to have a perfect coronavirus time with your kids.
Yeah, I think kind of the meat of this point, that there's so much out there, is that figure out what you want your day to look like, and then try and find resources for that, right? So kind of figure out how do I want my day to feel? What do I want it to look like from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed? And then instead of just trying to compile ideas and placing into your day, figure out what you want it to look like, and then find the resources, because it's like unlimited. Anything that you could ever want to do or think of, it's out there for you.
Yeah.
And then kind of with that, so I've been on Facebook a lot more than I have normally in a day. We'd encourage you, something that we're trying to figure out and struggle with too, is to limit the social media. Because you could just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit on the couch for just 3 minutes and just scroll. And even in those 3 minutes, you can be just inundated with either sad news or opinions that you just don't care about or need right now. Mm-hmm. Or maybe you'll find a great meme and send it to somebody and chuckle and laugh. But
we've been sending a lot of memes.
Oh man, it's so funny. We've been laughing a lot more because of the memes. But it just can be overwhelming, even just for a few minutes of deciding to do that. So I would encourage you, be intentional about the time. Like, okay, I'm going to scroll now for these 10 minutes or whatever. And that's it. And then I'm going to cut my day off for a while and take a break.
And I would even add on to that, just from the news as well. Give yourself permission to, when you're feeling, overloaded with all the negativity coming at you, give yourself permission to take a break. We don't need minute by minute updates on what is happening with the coronavirus and how many cases there are, and just watching all of that. It'll all be there the next day. So give yourself permission to just take a break from social media, from the news, from all the negativity that's coming at us right now.
Yeah. Okay, so the first kind of our 5 tips. The first one was be flexible, take it day by day. Secondly, there's so much out there, strategize what you want to do and then fill the resources in. Thirdly, this is coming from the pastoral side, make spiritual life a priority. Man, this is such an opportunity for kids in the home to lead your kids spiritually. And it's crazy because right now you don't have the church to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we're doing our part to help enable you and give you as many tools and resources again that we can. But it really comes to you now. It's more than it's ever been. It's your responsibility to do that. And what a wonderful opportunity that is, right? I'm the kids pastor, right? So I write the lessons for our kids at kids church, and it's Tuesday, and on Sunday we had our digital kids service for all of our kids and lessons and stuff. And we just got to tonight, Tuesday, so 2 days later, we just got to the preschool lesson with our daughter. It's like, we're the kids pastor, right? I wrote the thing. I know how to do it without even looking at the lesson. But that's okay, right? Mm-hmm. we prioritized it. We got to it. But for our family, this is the day that worked and we made it happen. We could have very easily just fluffed it off again, but making a time to spiritually have an impact point with your kids, it's vital at this moment.
Yeah, and this is a defining moment in our daughter. I feel like has a little bit of understanding of what's going on. And caught her the other day playing with her dolls, and this one has the virus. And
in China, she was calling it China.
In China, and she had overheard something on the news about it. Not even from us. She told us that she saw it on the news. And so the kids are trying to figure out what's going on, and they're looking to us as mom and dad to figure out the cues, saying this is all different for them if they're not going to school, they're not seeing their friends, they don't know if they're going to go back to school, and there's just a lot of change. They're not going to church. A lot of the extracurricular activities are canceled. Our daughter's dance class has been canceled.
Hip hop dance. Oh.
Yeah, she's very sad. And so there's just a lot of uncertainty in their lives right now. And so if we can show them that you always go back to, you can always rely on God, and you can always go back to him, and you don't have to feel anxious or uncertain, that they can have that peace, and they're looking for us for those cues. And so we have to have our time alone with the Lord to get that strength to be able to show them how to live this out.
Yeah. So what we're going to do as a church is we have at oakcreekag.org/kidslive. That's kind of like the hub that we have for families, right? So you can go to this website. This webpage is an extension of our church's website. And there we'll have digital services. We did one on Sunday. We'll do another one on Wednesday and another one on Sunday. So like a normal church service, but digital. But then we'll also have the Confident Parent podcast. We'll have some other ideas or suggestions on, Right Now Media, some Spotify playlists. I don't want to inundate you with stuff right now, but that's kind of the hub to help you lead your child spiritually. And this is something that we talk about a lot, but you might feel like, well, I don't know how to do that, or I don't know, what if they ask me a question I don't know, or all this stuff. And I want you to know, just don't worry about it, right? It's going to be okay. Even if they ask you a question, it's okay to say, I don't know. Shoot me an email. Shoot me a Facebook message. I'm here to help you do it. But if you don't do it now, they're going to suffer. And so that includes your own spiritual life, that this time where we're stuck at home and with less people and less options, our walks with Christ should be growing. We should be better at the end of this. So just reviewing real quick, our 3 tips so far is to be flexible, take it day by day. That there's so much out there, so many resources, it's overwhelming. So just take it easy there. Make your spiritual life a priority. And then number 4, that it's okay/essential to have alone/spouse time. So this really speaks to the parents that are staying home with their kids and having to become homeschool parents that aren't used to doing that, or working from home all the time or whatever. That just letting you know it's okay to feel like I need a break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a normal feeling, and it's not this guilty thing like, oh man, I feel like I gotta make the most of this time and spend more time with my kids and blah blah blah. And this is different for everybody, and so it's okay to feel like you need a break and then to take a break. And then it's super important to have alone time and spouse time, right? Mm-hmm. There's been all the jokes about all the babies that are going to be coming pretty soon in 9 months from now, but you got to have time to connect and separate from the kids. And that's going to be a big change from how just all of this is a big change. You have any words of wisdom about about this?
Yeah, and just make the most of the time that you do have. And can't go out on date nights, can't go to the movies, can't do a lot of things right now, and that's okay. That's fine. But make the most of the time that you do have. That it's okay to need that time alone. Some people really charge up when they're around a lot of people, and sometimes people other people need alone time to charge their batteries. And whichever one you are, it's totally okay to take a break and make sure that, that you and your spouse have that time where if you need some space, you can have some space within the house or take a walk outside. But then always come back together.
Yeah. Okay, so last but not least, this is just a real big thing we want to encourage you with, and then transfer to your kids. Our final kind of tip for surviving this as a parent is to fear not. To fear not. So just being real for us, it's like for the last couple of days, we wake up feeling good. This morning, Steph had like praise music, like happy praise music on. The house felt good. We were feeling good. We went to the church. We had a full day of strategizing and figuring out how we can minister to people. And just as the day goes on, man, like emotionally, even just in Wisconsin, it's like the number of cases has almost doubled by today, right? Mm-hmm. And so just hearing that stuff, it's like it sends you down the tank, right? And it's scary. It's like we stopped at Target today just to get makeup and shaving cream and just normal stuff, and it's like I've never taken the sanitizing cloth and wiped down the cart, but did that today, and like did Apple Pay so I didn't swipe my credit card in, and it's so easy to be just on the fringe constantly because this is so much unknown, and you just have to remind yourself, man, it's okay, like God's got this. He's got the whole world in his hands. This kind of thing has never been done in human history like this before. But I'm going to be okay because I'm a child of God.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And like you said, I've been starting the day feeling like I'm good. This is a great day. And then just all the negativity by the end of the day just leaves you feeling just heavy,
depleted.
Yeah. And there's real things that we have to deal with. I mean, we have to figure out, okay, are we going to have food? Is there enough toilet paper? Just all of those things, and making sure that our kids have what they need, that we have what we need, and just not knowing what the future looks like. Not that we're hoarding or anything like that. But, just like we said, you have to just keep going back to the Lord and just trusting that, you read through the Bible about how when the Israelites didn't have food, that he provided the manna and he provided the water from the rock. And just all the times that he protected his children, with Noah and his family, with the protection on the ark. And the Israelites, when they were in Egypt, he protected them from the different plagues. And just all of these things are things that we hold on to, that God has us. We are his. And so no matter what is going on around us, that we don't have to fear. We don't have to fear like the world fears, that the God of the universe, he sees what's going on. He has a plan, and everything is going to be okay.
Yeah. Realistic, right? You take care of yourself, but also not going in with this just fear. One thing that we've been praying constantly is for the joy of the Lord to be our strength, mm-hmm. that our home would be full of peace, that our kids would feel the peace. Our kids are going to get the feelings off of what we generate towards them. If we're terrified or always talking about this thing, they're going to get it. And that's why Chloe was always playing as if the virus was spreading with her toys. So that's on us. And we don't want to be a people of fear. God's called us to be joyful, that there's a supernatural peace that transcends all understanding. It doesn't even make sense why we have so much peace. And that's the kind of people we want to be. I mean, yep. That sounds like a much better life to live, right? Much better way of doing things.
Not only for our kids, but for the world around us.
Yeah.
This is a moment where they need to see us shining our light and seeing the peace and the joy that we have.
Not that we don't take it serious, or not that we get crazy with it, but that we have peace, we have joy in the midst of the unknown. So those are the 5 tips for parents on how to survive the coronavirus. real quick, I'll just review them again. It's being flexible, taking it day by day. It's tip two, just knowing there's so much out there. It's overwhelming, and just to push it away. Don't feel like you have to try and mark down everything and save it. 3, make spiritual life a priority during this time, because if you don't, you're going to miss out on an incredible opportunity to connect with God and become more of who He created us to be. Just pause real quick. Pastor shared on Sunday. If you didn't see this, he just shared, what God's been speaking to him for our church about this, and that he believes that God wants to use this as a time where the whole world is just paused for us to pause and connect with Him. So I want to encourage you to do that. Okay, resume tip 4. It's okay/essential to have nice alone and spouse time. You have to have that. You have to work that in. And then finally, fear not. Don't be afraid. God's got this. So we hope that this is helpful to you and that your family is better and that you feel more confident as a parent as we're endeavoring into the unknown, as Elsa likes to sing. Chloe's already watched Frozen 2 twice on Disney Plus since it's come out early. But into the unknoon, right? Into the unknown. So thanks so much, Steph, for being part of the podcast this week. Thanks for watching. Check out oakcreekag.org/kidsalive for more family resources from our church and to stay connected with other parents. We'll see you at the next episode. Hey, we're praying for you.